Hello guys, welcome back to the show. I get a lot of emails from guys, especially in America, Australia, and some from the UK, who say, Mark, I haven't dated anybody in 10, 15 years and just really lonely, considering coming to the Philippines. And I see how you've got a wonderful wife and some of the other vloggers that I watch, how they're all in wonderful relationships. But I'm just wondering, would anybody be interested in me? I'm a little older, I'm not in great shape. I don't have a whole lot of money, but I'm financially stable. And they're kind of wondering if they would be a hot commodity here in the Philippines. And it depends on a lot of different things. But first thing you have to do, if you're going to come to another country, is leave your past behind. Just forget about that, because you've got past things that happened to you when you were dating where it didn't work out, your confidence is low. And if you come over here and you have no confidence, that's a really important thing, when it comes to dating. You have to be confident. And even if you have to, fake it till you make it. But all of my friends, and I've got a lot of friends here, and all of my friends that are good guys, good men, honest men, financially stable, they're all over the gambit as far as, looks, from guys that are would be considered, say, a 2 or 3 to guys would be considered a 9 or a 10. And every one of them has a wife or a girlfriend. They're in serious relationships because they're good guys. And all I can tell you is, if you're a good guy, if you come over here with good intentions, a lot of things really don't matter as much as far as your physical appearance, even how much money you have. It depends on what kind of person you are. And if you're willing to come over here and meet somebody and treat her well and court her and be patient with her, you'd be surprised, how easy it's going to be for you to find someone. But let me tell you just a few things here. In the Philippines, nice guys finish first. You hear the old saying in America, nice guys finish last, because a lot of women, Western women, they see nice guys, they see a guy who's nice as a weakness. If he's opening the door for them and always saying nice things to them and complimenting them, then they feel like that guy's weak. They want the bad boy, they want the tough guy, they want the asshole, really. And that's why a lot of women end up in abusive relationships back, in the West. But here in the Philippines, it's not like that. These girls like men who are nice to them, who are kind to them, who are affectionate to them, who open the door for them, who are gentlemen. They really love a guy who's a gentleman. So if you can just be a gentleman, put everything else aside, your physical appearance, your financial abilities, anything else about yourself, put all that aside. If you can just be a gentleman, that's going to take you a long way in the Philippines. But of course, you can't be a slob either. I see some of these guys that are just, they've been single for so many years and haven't dated in so many years. They just kind of let themselves go. They let their facial hair grow. They don't shower as often as they could. They wear the same clothes all the time. They don't really groom themselves. Filipinos in general, men and women, they're very clean people. They keep themselves clean, they keep the homes clean. They're very much into, personal, grooming. And so if you don't keep yourself clean, you don't keep yourself nice and, presentable, that's going to knock you down several notches in the eyes of a Filipina. So, you have to take care of yourself. But on the other hand, I see these other guys who are pretending to be younger than they are. They've dyed their hair jet black like Elvis, but they forgot about the tips of their ears, which they're walking around with black ears. And they're wearing the clothes they wore back in the 80s, like a sports jersey and a baseball hat on backwards and baggy pants, and walking around like they're, in their 20s. You can't do that. I mean, act your age, but dress sharp. But to these women, physical appearance doesn't matter that much. And so if you want to know if you're a high valued man in the eyes of a Filipina, sure, if you're a good looking guy, you're going to get more attention than an average good looking guy, or a guy that's, not good looking at all. But you have to be a high value man. If you want to be a high value man, you have to have some type of financial stability. Every woman in the world wants that. If you go to America and ask women the one quality that a man must have, say they're talking to women in their 20s or 30s, and the one quality a man must have before they would date him, they say a good job or be financially stable. So women around the world want that. It's not just Filipinas that want a financially stable guy. And the good thing is that here, money goes a lot farther than it does in the West. You can, if you say you have a Social Security payment of say $1,500 a month, you got a little bit of money in the bank, in the eyes of a Filipina, you're financially stable and you can provide her and a potential family with, a decent life. Now in America, for $1,500 a month, you can't do anything. I mean, you're going to be at the poverty level. You'll barely be able to afford a studio apartment. You'll be driving an old car. You're just not going to be able to socialize. That money's not going to go far at all. But over here, it goes a lot farther. They want someone who is family oriented too. It's a really big thing here in the Philippines, probably because of the financial situation that a lot of these women, they come from very, very poor families. And so everybody has to pitch in together to survive. They don't have any safety net like Social Security or money they get for unwed mother or anything like that. And so they have to stick together. And so they're very tight with their family. They look after each other. And so if you come into a relationship and you meet a girl and say she's working at the mall and you want to marry her, you want to date her permanently, you say, well, you don't have to work anymore, I'm going to take care of you. And so you take her out of the family and she moves in with you. Well, you've taken that income away from the family. They were counting on the money she was bringing in to help them survive. And so it's only fair that if you compensate them in some way and help the family out. So there's all kinds of different ways you can do that. Some guys give a set amount, some guys just pitch in when they can. But you're probably, if you're dating a girl who's got a job and you want her to quit that job and just be with you and she's living with her family, you should expect to do some kind of compensation for that family. And most of the guys I know do that. It's not a whole lot, a couple $100 a month or $100 a month, whatever you can afford. But keep that in mind. One reason that most Filipinas are interested in dating a foreign man is they just think that these children that are half foreign, half Filipino, like half Australian, half American, half British, half whatever, Filipino, or just more attractive or cuter babies. And our baby turned out real cute. But I think genetically, maybe it's something in the back of their subconscious mind, but genetically, when you take someone from a country that's 9,000 miles away from where you're from, you're going to get totally different DNA, which is a good thing. When you add new DNA to, a species, it makes them stronger, gives them special attributes and stuff. So it's a good thing, especially living on an island, to have new DNA coming. I think that's part of it too. They like foreign men because they're taller. Like most of us, Americans were, 5'5", 5'10", 6 foot. It's not unusual to see somebody like me that's 6'4", and they like tall men. So that's a good thing too. If you have missing teeth, I see some guys come over here with missing teeth, but they've got enough money, in the bank to retire. They don't have to work. They're buying a car, a new motorcycle. I mean, get your teeth fixed. I mean, in the Philippines, it's really inexpensive to go to a dentist and get, a crown or false teeth or whatever, and get your teeth fixed. Don't walk around, with missing teeth when you can afford to do something about it. It just says you don't care about yourself. And women want someone who's going to take care of themselves. And if you if you don't take care of yourself, are you really going to take care of her? Smoking, a lot of Filipino men smoke, but they don't smoke like Americans do, where they're buying a pack of cigarettes and blowing through that in a day. They buy cigarettes one at a time here, which is illegal in America. So the men smoke, but they don't smoke like Americans do and like foreigners who smoke do. So if you smoke, I say it's a perfect time you move to the Philippines to give that up. And these women that I talk to, 99.9% of them prefer men who do not smoke. They just do. They also prefer men who don't have facial hair. They don't really like mustaches and beards. So if you're really attached to that mustache and beard, you might want to consider shaving that off. Having a disability, a lot of guys have told me, well, Mark, I've got a disability. I lost a leg in Afghanistan, or I'm blind, or I was, burned in a fire, whatever it was. And they ask if that's going to make a difference when they come here. And it doesn't. These women don't care about that. Physical appearance is not the number one thing for women over here. Yeah, it might get you attention, when you first get here if you're an attractive guy, but it's not the number one thing. They really want to know what kind of person you are. And they've got a really good sense, very good intuition, these women. So they can tell if you're a good guy or not. And like I said before, all my friends who are good men, and I've got lots and lots of friends, every single one of them is in either married, engaged, or in a long-term relationship, and they're really, really happy. And it's loving, perfect, no drama, no problems, but they're good guys. And all these guys came over here with wanting to find somebody, but their goal was that they were going to find someone and they were going to make their life better, make that person's life better. And so if your goal is that you're dating this girl, you're living with this girl, you're marrying this girl, and someday you're going to be gone, so there's always an age gap relationship usually, and you're going to die while she's still young, is to make sure that she's set for life, that her life is going to be way better off if she had never met you. And most of the guys I know who are in relationships, they've done that. They've bought property for these girls, they've built houses for them, they've got savings accounts that'll go to them or pensions that'll go to them, whatever. And they're making sure that when they're gone, these girls aren't going to be left on their own. And it gives the girl a sense of security, that she can relax and know that, she's got someone who's going to look after her. And they want to be looked after, they want to be taken care of. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the way it's been for thousands of years. Women have wanted a man who can take care of them. And if you're a guy on a limited budget, you've got a small pension, you've got a small savings, you've got a small Social Security, and you're basically invisible and worthless to men and to women in the West, over here you're a hot commodity. Over here, you're someone who a lot of women would be very interested in going out with you because you're financially stable. And they'll look aside if you're a little bit overweight or if you're not the best looking guy in the world, But like I said, you got to take pride in your appearance. Do whatever you can to make yourself, attractive. Wear clean clothes, be clean shaven, shower every day. Take care of yourself. And if you want to lose some weight, lose some weight. But a lot of guys come over here and they go into a what do you call it? A self-improvement thing. And they watch their diet and they start exercising. And you see them 6 months later and they look great because they're inspired for a reason. Back in America, they had no reason. Like, why should I go to the gym and work out? Why should I lose some weight? Why should I, buy some new clothes? Because, not going out with anybody anyway. I come home and sit in front of the TV and, watch TV or watch video games or watch porn or whatever. And they have no social life at all, so they just don't care. They just let themselves go. And you see guys that come over here, you can tell they haven't taken care of themselves in years and years. And so you got to clean that up. You can't just come over here and be a slob and just do what you were doing back home. You got to clean yourself up, get your confidence back, and just be a nice guy, be friendly. And if you want to meet someone, you will. And you are a hot commodity if you're just a decent guy and you're financially stable. If you're like, you come over here with like those guys I meet that are getting by on like $500 a month, or less than $1,000 a month, maybe you shouldn't be in a relationship at all. Maybe you're not ready for that yet. But once you get yourself financially stable and you've got a decent apartment, you've got a way to get around, you've got a little money in the bank, then you're going to be attractive to a lot of women that back home wouldn't even give you a second look. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Stay positive and just be yourself, be a good guy. When you meet a girl, ask about her, find out about her, find about her family, ask questions. Don't sit there and pontificate about, what an exciting life you had and all the accomplishments you've had. Don't try and impress her because she probably isn't going to understand half of what you say anyway. You're better off to ask questions about her if you want to, get any further in the relationship. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you next time. Bye.